As you may have guessed from the music, today we are going to play a little bit of Animal Crossing. 集まれ動物の森. God, I haven't played this game in a little bit too long now. But the last couple of weeks I have been playing Persona 5, and that is another level above what I normally do. So today I'm just going to play some Animal Crossing and relax. Hopefully. Minasan, Tanukichi Danamo. Okay, so it's Tanukichi. It's Tom Nook. Konnichiwa. 毎日島の出来事をお知らせする島内放送だなも. Yeah, Animal Crossing. 島内放送. I think that's just within the island. Broadcast within the island. So, 島内 being like on an island or on island. And also being a broadcast. Yay for relatively simple Japanese. Me too. Does my voice sound okay, by the way? I was fiddling with the audio just before this started, and I'm not sure if I did a good job of adjusting it or not. So, 島の出来事のお知らせする. So, お知らせする. So, 知らせる is like 知らす can I do 知らせる in this dictionary? Yes, to notify, to advise, to inform. But he's not used this. He's done お知らせする, which is like a more formal version of notice or notification, but using the する at the end. I don't know what the implications are for like politeness. I believe because he's using お知らせ rather than 知らせる, it's slightly more politer, but I'm not 100% sure here. This is something I want to come back to and check on, but I don't know if I've got the books to look at it. And the thing that he's talking about is just a dekikoto, which is an incident, affair, or a happening. Minasan no kurashi ni yakudatsu jouhou o じゃんじゃんお届けしますので、ぜひ耳を傾けてちょうだいね. This is saying something like, for everyone's livelihoods, I am going to give you, deliver to you, useful information. じゃんじゃん. I don't know what じゃんじゃん means here. ぜひ耳を傾けてちょうだい. Just please lend me your ears. Definitely lend me your ears. So we can break this down a little bit. 暮らし, which is a life or a livelihood. And then we have 役立つ, which is to be useful or helpful. 情報 is obviously information. And then じゃんじゃん is a word that I don't know. It is continuously, incessantly, one after the other. So like じゃんじゃん, like really quickly going through things. So he's done the same thing here as well. お届け. Instead of saying 届きます, he says お届けします. So, which I believe this makes it more polite. So お届け is delivery of something. Then we have zehi, which is without fail or certainly. And then mimi o katamukeru. Mimi o katamukeru, to lend an ear, to listen carefully. Okay. さて、本日は特にニュースがないから。Okay. So, because today there isn't very much news, 代わりにブレア島生活の So, instead of that, Blair's island life お役立ち情報をお届けする頼も So, he's saying, I'm going to give you useful information to your livelihood on this island in exchange for, because there's no news, because I haven't logged in for like a year. So, usually the word for today is cure, but they're using honjitsu instead because it's a more polite version of the word for today. Tokuni is particularly or especially. News ga nai kara, so there's because there's no news. Kawari ni. So instead of or as a substitute for. And then where was I? Shima seikatsu. So seikatsu is living or life. It's a word that Animal Crossing likes to use a lot. Then we have yakudachi jouhou o otodoke suru danamo, which are words that we already understand. He does say sate. Well, which is just sort of like a filler word meaning well, or now, or then. You can imagine him saying now then at the start of the sentence. DIY でのものづくりは楽しんでくれているだなも。Are you enjoying making things using DIY? He says specifically ものづくり. Actually, I've forgotten one important step when broadcasting, which is to actually tell people I'm broadcasting. I better do that now. Before I forget. I'm playing Animal Crossing today. Come along if you want to learn some relatively simple Japanese. Okay, now that I've taken care of that. Hey, Feely, how's it going? So monozukuri is... Oh, it's all hiragana here. Monozukuri means manufacturing, craftsmanship, or making things by hand. So, yes, am I enjoying making things using DIY? Well, I haven't done it in a while, so... Mada taiken shita koto ga nai kata wa. So if you're someone who has not yet experienced making things by hand, annaijo de no taiken workshop ni, in the information center, in the workshop, in the experience, like the practical experience workshop, zehi sanka shite choudai ne. Please definitely participate. So they have workshops that you can go to learn DIY, which is kind of cool. Mada means yet, or not yet. Taiken comes up a couple of times in this sentence. Usually it means experience with usually like hands-on or practical experience. したことない方. So this is used as a respectful way of saying a person. Where is the right button for this? Yeah, so instead of saying hito, you say kata when you're being more polite, because you're not indicating a person, you're indicating like a direction. 案内状での, so 案内状. Yes, information desk. And then we have 案内状での, so the information, the thing of the information desk, which is the Taiken workshop, or the experience workshop. ぜひ参加してちょうだい. 参加 is a participating in something. And then he said this before, but I didn't pick up on it. ちょうだい is like the word for please, or it's a word for please. Which can be both a humble level of politeness and also a familiar language, usually used by females when it's in the familiar sense. それでは, well then.